Book title: Who Moved My Cheese? Author: Dr. Spencer Johnson. Introduction. Who Moved My Cheese is a short yet powerful story that uses 4 fictional characters to illustrate how people deal with change. The book explores the idea that change is inevitable and those who accept it early and adapt quickly will succeed and be at peace. The cheese in the story represents what we want in life, such as success, love, job, peace, or security. The maze represents the environment we search in, such as our workplace, family, or relationships. Chapter 1. The Gathering. The book begins with a group of old school friends meeting for a reunion. They start discussing the changes happening in their lives, especially in careers and relationships. One of them, named Michael, shares a story he once heard that changed his way of dealing with change. He decides to tell the story to help his friends understand how to cope better with change. The story is simple, yet holds deep life lessons. Chapter 2. The Story of the 4 Characters. The story begins with 4 characters who live in a maze and look for cheese every day. 2 are mice named Sniff and Scurry. The other 2 are little people named Hem and Haw. The cheese represents what each of them wants in life. It could be a good job, a loving relationship, money, peace, or even health. The maze is the place where they search for what they want. It can be a workplace, a home, a city, or even their mind. Each character represents different parts of ourselves. Sniff senses change early. Scurry acts quickly. Tame denies and resists change. Haw learns to adapt when he sees change leads to something better. Chapter 3. Finding Cheese at Cheese Station C. All 4 characters one day find a large supply of cheese at Cheese Station C. They go there every day to eat cheese and feel secure. The mice remain alert. They check the area daily and watch the cheese supply. But Hem and Haw start to take the cheese for granted. They believe it will always be there. They even build their lives around it. This part of the story shows how people often become too comfortable in their situation. They forget that nothing lasts forever. Chapter 4. The Cheese is Gone. One morning, all 4 characters arrive at Cheese Station C and find that the cheese is gone. Sniff and Scurry are not surprised. They had noticed the cheese was getting smaller each day. They quickly put on their running shoes and go into the maze to search for new cheese. Tame and Haw, however, are shocked and angry. Tame says this is unfair. Haw is confused and afraid. They wait, hoping the cheese will return. This chapter shows how people resist change and stay stuck in denial, hoping things will go back to the way they were. Chapter 5. Reacting to Change. Tame continues to complain and refuses to leave. He believes someone has stolen their cheese. Haw begins to feel the stress of hunger and fear. He tries to convince Hem to come with him to explore the maze again, but Hem refuses. Eventually, Haw realizes he cannot wait any longer. He writes messages on the wall to record his journey and encourage Hem if he ever decides to leave. This part teaches that we must not wait for change to reverse. Instead, we must adapt and take action. Waiting in fear only brings more suffering. Chapter 6. The Journey Through the Maze. As Haw moves into the maze alone, he is scared but slowly becomes more confident. He remembers how it felt when he was free and looking for cheese with energy and excitement. While searching, he finds small pieces of cheese left behind. He eats a little and stores some for later. Along the way, he writes lessons on the wall like, if you do not change, you can become extinct. What would you do if you were not afraid? Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. These messages are both for himself and for Hem if he ever follows. This part of the story symbolizes self-awareness and learning from experience. It shows the power of courage and action. Chapter 7. Discovering New Cheese. After days of exploring, Haw finds Cheese Station N. There he finds more cheese than ever before. To his joy, Sniff and Scurry are already there enjoying the new cheese. He feels grateful and healthier than ever. He learns that the biggest obstacle was his fear. When he overcame fear and took a step forward, everything changed. He reflects that had he acted sooner, he would have found the new cheese earlier. But he does not feel regret. Instead, he feels joy in learning the lesson. He writes on the wall, the quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. Chapter 8. Hope for Hem. Even after finding new cheese, Haw often thinks about Hem. He hopes Hem will read the messages on the walls and realize that change can bring something better. He realizes that everyone has to face their own fear in their own time. You cannot force someone to change. You can only encourage them by living your own example. This chapter teaches that change is a personal journey. Some people may stay stuck forever. Others may choose growth. Chapter 9. Back to the real world. After the story ends, the group of friends who were listening to it begin to reflect on their own lives. They realize how they too were like him, stuck in their careers or relationships, afraid to change. The story helps them see that being aware of change, preparing for it, and moving with it is the key to success and peace of mind. Each of them leaves with a new attitude, ready to face changes in their lives with courage and clarity. Final thoughts. Who Moved My Cheese is a simple yet powerful story that teaches how change is constant. What matters is how we respond to it. Some wait, complain, or hope things will return to the past. Others observe, adapt, and move forward. The characters in the story show us 4 ways we can react to change. We all have those traits within us. The goal is to become like Haw. Learn to laugh at your fear. Step into the unknown. Discover new opportunities. When you stop fearing change and start moving with it, life becomes easier, lighter, and more fulfilling.